Hi, and welcome to today's practice. Today's practice is a warm up kind of a practice, and I know we're calling it a runner's warm up, but this is for everybody because I think we all tend to get really tight within our legs and also within our lower body, like all the way down to our feet. If you sit a lot at your desk all day, your legs are in a 90-degree position and your hamstrings are always in that shortened position. So we do need to take some time and some effort throughout the day to strengthen our legs out, or strengthen and lengthen, and to give those hamstrings some breathing room. If you're a runner, you generally have similar issues where you're going to have some tight hamstrings and probably tight hip flexors. Now, when you are tight within the hip flexors, sometimes that exacerbates the problems with any tight hamstrings that you might have. When the hip flexors are tight, they tend to pull on your pelvic bowl and you have more of an anterior pelvic tilt. So your tailbone is tucked just slightly, and that's just enough to take out that curve in the lower back. The hamstrings try to counteract this by tightening to protect your lower back. So it's just kind of a double-edged sword here as far as a problem that you're trying to resolve. So to improve any tightness that you have in your hamstrings, you may need to also work on those hip flexors. If you're experiencing any low back pain, it could be because we need to loosen up our hip flexors as well. So we'll get started here. And we are going to start in a kneeling position and just allow our bottom to rest on the heels. Now, right here, this could already be a lot for you, just sitting on the feet. If it's uncomfortable, go ahead and take a blanket. Maybe place that underneath the ankles, give them a little bit of a cushion. Also, you could take the blanket and put it directly behind the knees and decrease that angle when you sit back with your knees. So either way, however you feel the most comfortable, work your way into that position right now. Hands can just rest gently on top of the thighs. And we'll just let the eyes close here. And we'll start with a nice passive stretch. We're going to begin the class today with more work into our feet and our ankles just to warm up that area. And then we'll start to work our way up into the hamstrings and the hip flexors. If you would like to take this pose a little deeper, take the hands beside you, maybe walk them back a little bit, and you can start to lean back onto the tops of the feet. Maybe the knees lift a little. Stretching out the top of the foot. If you want to take this even a little further and make this more of a strength drill, you can take the hands and rest them on top of the knees. And you're balancing here. Couple of more inhales and slow and steady exhales through the nose. On the next exhale, release your hands. Allow the knees to drop down if you had them lifted. And come forward into a tabletop. We're just going to tap the feet out against the mat. Get the blood flow back into the feet. I'm just going to scoop myself back on the mat here slightly. In your table pose, go ahead and tuck the toes. And here we'll take our toe squat position. You may want to grab a block or two to help yourself out here. Start to lower the hips down and onto the feet. Toes are slightly tucked. If you can, with the torso fully upright, and stay in this position. If that's too intense, take some of the weight off of the feet and lean forward. Hands can come to the mat. Or if you like, maybe just rest your hands on a couple of blocks. And we'll hold this pose for about 30 seconds or so. I like to call this pose the toe crusher. If you've had any foot injuries in the past, this can be really intense, but just take it at whatever level is available to you. I know I've been working on this for a long time after I had some issues in my lower left foot and leg. And it takes a while to get everything back to what we think or consider normal. Awesome. Go ahead and push yourself back up to a tabletop. You can set your blocks aside if you were using them. And again, we'll just tap the tops of those feet onto the mat. From here, swing the feet out to the side. Allow your hips to drop back and extend the legs long into your Dandasana. In your Dandasana, we'll do a couple of stretches with the ankles and continue. Bring the right ankle over the left leg. From here, just make sure that your left foot or your right foot is free so that it can move over the side of the left leg. And we're just going to take some ankle circles. Take the left hand and just move the foot in a clockwise position. Go about 5 or 6 times here. Then reverse the motion, counterclockwise, rotating the ankle, allowing the foot to relax as much as it can. Go ahead and pause. Here we'll give the arch of the foot, a little bit of a massage, loosening up that arch. Just taking both of the thumbs, feeling into the different portions of the foot where maybe you need a little bit of a work. Going up towards the toes, in between the toes. At the same time, your fingers can be pressing into the top of the foot and also massaging that out. Now take the fingers of the left hand and we're going to put the fingers in between the toes of our right foot. You may need to help yourself out here with the other hand to get the fingers in there. I know I do. This also can be very intense. So if you can't get all of the fingers in between the toes, just do what you can. From here, start to palpate the right foot with the left hand just by giving it a little bit of a squeeze, almost like you're trying to make a fist with the left hand. Sometimes these stretches can be the hurts so good kind of a stretch. Really good. Release. Go ahead and take your calf and your shin with both of your other hands. Lift the right leg up. Allow that foot to hang loose. And we're just going to give it a shake. Just a little shake it out. Extend the right leg long. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. The left foot crosses over the right knee, just above the right knee, and hanging off the right edge. Start with your ankle circles, about 5 or 6 times clockwise. And then change the direction. From here, we'll do our foot massage on the left side, working the thumbs along the inside arch. Maybe work from the heel all the way up to the ball of the foot. This is something you can just do at the end of the night when you're watching a show. Maybe you can kick off your shoes at work and give yourself a little foot rub. Without offending anyone, hopefully. Now we'll take the fingers on the right hand, start to work them in between the toes of the left foot. Always need a little help with that pinky toe. From here, either stay here or start to palpate the right hand into the foot, almost like you're trying to make a fist, squeezing into those toes and the ball portion of the foot. Bring the hands up to the calf and the shin. Lift your foot off of the mat, off of the other leg, and let your foot hang loosely. Give it a little shake. Legs extend long. We can go ahead and wiggle the legs out just to wake them up. From here, draw the feet back and we will come back into our tabletop position, starting with a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, gaze goes up, tailbone lifts. Exhale, tucking the chin, tucking the tail, pushing the mat away with your palms. Inhale once more, going at your own pace. Gradually starting to wake up the body. Exhale into cat and then return to neutral. From your neutral position, tuck the toes and we're going to lift the knees maybe an inch off of the mat. and just hover. The wrists are still underneath the shoulders. The knees are still underneath the hips. We're going to take that same cat and cow asana and feel the difference when our knees are raised. From here, start the inhale. Tailbone is tipping up. Gaze comes up. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, drawing in the navel. Inhale up. Exhale, tucking in, pressing the mat away. One more. Inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, lower the knees. Allow the feet to, or the toes to, untuck. Shift the hips back and forth here. Prepare. Tuck the toes once more, and we'll push back into our downward dog. Downward dog, it's our first one of the day, so go ahead and find your comfort here in down dog, pressing into the hands, maybe walking the feet a little bit, pedaling back and forth, pushing the heels towards the mat. If they don't reach the mat, that is totally fine. Tailbone still reaching, driving up towards the sky. And the shoulders are spread wide, melting across your back. From here, inhale the right foot to the sky. Draw it in between the hands. Allow the back knee to come to the mat. Hands can come to the top of the right thigh. And feet or the toes will stay tucked. Your low lunge, Anjaneyasana on the right side. Breathing here. Allowing the hips to sink. At the same time, we're drawing in with the core. Actively pulling the right heel. Feel that right heel pull towards you, and you'll feel an activation into that hip flexor on the left side. On the next inhale, we're going to twist our Anjaneyasana. Lower the left hand to the mat. The right arm comes up to the sky. You can untuck those back toes if you like. Take an inhale, exhale, maybe opening up the chest a little bit more. Allowing that heart center to shine upward. Gaze can come up towards the right hand, but if you're feeling any stress in the neck, allow your gaze to lower. With our next inhale, leaving the right hand upward, we're going to draw the left heel in towards the left buttocks. Activating the back side of the left leg. Now draw your right arm, maybe to catch that left foot. You could also use a strap here. Holding in this position, on the inhale, press the foot back, pressing into your right hand, opening up the right shoulder, activating your quad, activating the left leg. And from here, pull that left foot back in. Maybe you're pulling it in just a little bit deeper. Inhale, pressing into the foot. Exhale, drawing it in. One more time, inhale, pressing the foot into the right hand. Exhale, drawing in for a deep quad stretch. Exhale, slowly release that foot back down towards the mat. We'll come back into our low lunge. Just to even it out here, from your low lunge, put your hands towards the mat, and we're going to press the hips back into our half splits on the right side. Now, if you'd like blocks to have your hands on to bring the mat a little bit closer to you, that'd be a great position to take. In your half splits, we really want to make sure that we're working on the back of the leg and that we're not just slumping forward with our back and not feeling anything. So if you are feeling a stretch in the back leg and your spine is nice and long from tailbone up, you could maybe just stay right here. If you're able to deepen, you can lower down, allowing the lower ribs maybe to come to the top of the right thigh. Keeping a slight bend in that right knee, pushing into the mat with the right heel, and you'll feel that activation on the back side of the right leg. Inhale, come forward, allow the sole of the right foot to connect with the mat. Tuck the back left toes. Inhale, the arms up. We're in our Anjaneyasana once more, tucking the tailbone, drawing in the core. Now for our balance challenge, we're going to lift up on the inhale, pressing into the mat with that right foot, lengthening out the back left leg. You're in your high lunge. If you need to adjust the position of your feet and bring the back foot in a little bit, feel free to do so. In your high lunge, we're still tucking in the tailbone, pressing into the mat with that right foot, pushing back and down with that left heel to straighten and activate the left leg. From here, we'll spin the left toes out, opening the arms up. Warrior two, lowering down, sinking into the hips. From our warrior two, inhale, right arm up overhead into our reverse warrior. Exhaling here. On the inhale, we'll come into our extended side angle pose. Right arm to the top of the right thigh, gaze comes up. Inhaling up to our extended warrior. Exhale down, the side angle pose. One more time, inhaling up. Exhaling down, side angle pose. Inhale, return to warrior two. Pausing here, catching our breath. Inhale the arms up, turn that back heel upward. Return to your high lunge position. From high lunge, we're going to step forward. One nice step, big step with the back foot. And we're in a warrior three prep pose. Push off with the back foot, ground into the right foot, leaning forward. Hips are even. Arms can be alongside the ears or in prayer. Staying in the balance, pushing in that right foot. Start to come upright. Draw that left foot or the left knee into chest. Standing tall here. Start to draw the left sole of the foot into the right thigh for tree pose. Hands can be at heart center or raised overhead. Draw the left foot or the left hand to the left foot. Release that foot to the mat. Maybe walk it out here for a second. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins or the mat. Exhale, hands press into the mat, lowering down for your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We'll do that whole thing on the left side. Inhale the left foot up to the sky. Exhale the left foot in between the hands. Lower the right knee to the ground. Allow the toes to stay tucked. If that's uncomfortable, you can untuck them. Sinking into the hips. Hands just lightly resting on the top of the left thigh. We don't want to sink our weight into that left leg. Torso is upright. Increase the activation into the right hip flexor by feel yourself drawing the left heel towards the body. Actively engaging the thighs and pulling them towards the midline. That way we're not just sinking into these poses, we're activating the muscles. Getting a little bit more bang for your buck. From here, we'll take the right hand down towards the mat. Inhale the left arm to the sky for your twist and low lunge. Take another inhale, exhale. Maybe the chest rotates a little deeper. From here, the left arm stays lifted. Inhale the right heel towards the right or towards the tailbone. Draw that in, activating the leg as much as you can. And allow the hand to come and maybe take a hold of the foot or use a strap if you need a little extra length here. Inhale, pressing into the foot. Pressing into that hand, opening up the left shoulder. Exhale, draw it in a little deeper. Still twisted, still looking up towards the sky. Inhale, pressing with the foot. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, pressing into that hand as hard as you can, feeling the quad on the right side activate and release. Pull it in. Noticing the change you have from when you first started this pose to where your foot is at now. Maybe it's almost touching your tailbone. On the next inhale, unravel. Allow the left hand to come to the mat. We'll come to equilibrium here and just stay in our Anjane Asana for a breath. Inhale, hands come down to the mat. And exhale, sink those hips back. Push into your half splits on the left side. Toes are pointing upward. You're in a nice long spine from your tailbone to your head. You're not collapsing over that leg. Maybe a slight bend in the left knee. Feeling the stretch along the back side of the left leg, driving that left heel into the mat. This is a great stretch to work on, especially if you're working on your splits, a more advanced pose. On the inhale, shift forward. The sole of the left foot comes to the mat. Tuck the back right toes in. Bring the arms up alongside the ears. We're back in our low lunge. From here, inhale, pressing into that left foot, lifting the right knee off of the mat. You're in high lunge on the left side. Firmly activating the core. Feeling that warmth within the lower body. Drawing the right thigh upward. And from your high lunge, we'll spin our right toes back at about a 45-degree angle and sink into our warrior two on the right or on the left side. On the next inhale, flip the palm, draw the left arm overhead. Exhale, you're in your extended warrior or your reverse warrior. Inhale, side angle pose, right arm overhead. Maybe gaze comes up towards the right arm. Inhale, lift the torso. Reverse warrior. Exhale, folding back over that left thigh. One more time, inhale up. Right hand gently on the right calf or thigh. And exhale, side angle pose. From side angle, lift up, inhale, and then exhale down into your warrior two. And that front right thigh is probably on fire right now. From warrior two, shift the back heel to come up, arms up alongside the ear. Take a bigger step in, maybe about halfway up with the right foot. You're in a warrior three prep. Start to bend from the hips and balance in your warrior three on the left side. Hands can come to prayer or alongside the ears. Hips are level, the back foot is flexed. From here, using your balance, draw that right knee in towards your chest. Lifting up, grounding down with that left foot into the mat and lifting up with the right knee. That energy in opposition. From here, we'll take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh for our tree pose on the left side. Hands at heart center, or you can take them out above you. Inhale, the right hand releases, drawing that right foot down towards the mat. And exhale, forward fold. Maybe just pausing here in your forward fold. Shifting the hips from right and to left. In your forward fold, we'll start to lower, well, first, walk the feet out until they're a little bit wider than hip width. Toes are turned out slightly towards the upper corners of the mat, and we'll lower the hips down into our yogi squat. Now, if this is too intense for you, I'm going to just back up a little bit on my mat. If this is too intense, I suggest grabbing a block, maybe pressing it underneath you so that you can stay here in this pose. You can use any height that's available to you, all the way up at the highest height, if that's more comfortable. Otherwise, we'll stay here for about 30 seconds, holding, pressing the knees out, opening up those hips. Hands in prayer, elbows are pressing to the inside of the legs. And if you feel like you need to take movement in this pose, go ahead and take it. Chest should be shining upward, nice and open in the front body. Knees are still pushing and driving out. Very good. Release the hands, bring them out in front of you. Fingertips are out, and just allow yourself to drop to the mat. From here, extend the legs out long, and you're in your staff pose. From staff pose, right foot draws in, bring it to the inside of that left thigh, and we'll start to forward fold, bending from the hips into our Janu Shirshasana on the left side. And just relaxing into this pose. With every inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward, maybe just a millimeter, maybe a little bit more. On the next inhale, lift up slightly, fold forward. We'll take about 5 deep breaths here. Using the hands, start to push yourself up. Allow that right leg to come out long. Adjust your sit bones. From here, we'll take that on the opposite side, drawing the left foot in. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, folding forward from the hips. Only coming to the point where you feel the stretch, and then pause there. Maybe on the next inhale, you breathe in more space. Exhale, maybe coming a little deeper. This will look different on every body. Five more breaths here. On an inhale, start to push yourself back up, torso coming upright. Extend that left foot back out in front of you, adjusting the sit bones as needed. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, folding forward slowly, focusing on that bend from the hips. Take your peace fingers and bring them in between the big toe and the second toe. Wrap the thumb around. And from here, continue to pull yourself forward and down. Back of the legs pressing into the mat. Elbows start to bend outward. You're in your seated big toe pose. Two more breaths. On the inhale, release. Again, use the hands to assist you in walking yourself back up. From here, draw the soles of the feet in. We'll come to our butterfly or bound eagle pose. Soles of the feet are touching. Hands can come underneath the feet. To take a hold, sitting tall, pressing the knees open. Active here in our bound eagle pose. Feeling the knees press out, attempting to press them into the earth. I know it may not be possible for all of us, for even most of us. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. And release, relax the knees. Let them come to their natural position. Take the hands out from underneath the feet. From here, we'll take the left hand, bring it over to the right knee. Right arm comes back. Inhale, exhale, small twist. This won't be as deep as if we are in our easy sit pose. On the inhale, come back to center. Right arm or right hand comes to the left knee. And the left hand comes back behind. Inhale, we'll reverse that. Take that once more on the right side. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand goes behind you. Maybe the gaze comes back to you, behind you. Inhale, release. Exhale, take the twist back over to the left. Inhale, back to your bound angle pose. From here, we're going to take a forward bend in our bound angle pose, so the hands can come back underneath the feet, or you can walk them out in front of you on the mat, whatever is the most comfortable. Start to bend from the hips and just relax it forward. We'll take more of a resting position here, so you can allow the back to curve and just drape over. We're not pulling or forcing anything here now. We're just allowing the body to make space. Inhale, come up, walking the hands back. And from here, take the hands on the outside of the knees, bring them up and together, and bring yourself in towards the center of the mat and start to roll down onto your back. From here, we'll take bridge pose, drawing the heels in slightly. Start to lift the hips up towards the sky. Chin should be slightly tucked. If you see mine should be tucked even more, but I am fighting a bun that happens to be in the wrong spot today, but I'll just have to deal with it. One more inhale here. Exhale, lower the hips down towards the mat. Draw the knees into your chest. From here, you can take happy baby pose, bringing the arms to the inside of the knees and maybe taking a hold of the big toe or the outside edge of the feet. The knees come to a 90-degree angle. The back torso is firmly planted into the mat as you draw your knees back down in towards your armpits. If you'd like to take a couple of rocks here in your happy baby, feel free to do so. And you can even extend one or both of the legs in happy baby. Always options. Take what feels right for you. Release your happy baby, and both of the feet can come down towards the mat. From here, take the right ankle, cross it over the left, recline pigeon pose. Hands come through, maybe clasping onto the left shin or the back of the left thigh. And just a gentle pull. We don't need to strain too much in the upper body here. Just pulling slightly so we can feel an opening into that right hip. Push into the right thigh with your right elbow, and that'll increase the stretch for you a little bit. Inhale to release the foot to the mat. Right sole of the foot goes down, and crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Start to draw that right leg in, taking your hold, flexing that left foot, staying active in the left foot. Gently draw in and breathe. Inhale, release the right foot, and then the left foot comes to the earth. From here, we'll take an extra hamstring stretch, starting with we'll start with the left side. Draw the left knee in. You can either take a hold of the big toe with your peace fingers and extend. If that's a little hard for you to reach, you can also take a hold of your left calf or shin, or maybe the back of the left thigh. From here, start to pull in. Maybe exhale that right leg long. On an inhale, bend that left knee, shortening up the hamstring. Exhale, push through the left heel, lengthen, maybe drawing that left foot a little bit closer towards your face. Right hand can rest on the right hip to make sure that it's firmly anchored into the mat. We'll inhale, bend the knee again. Exhale, reach out long with the right or with the left heel. Inhale, bend the knee. This time we release it down towards the mat. We'll do the same thing on the right side. The left sole of the foot can stay planted as we get started. Draw that right knee in. Maybe take a hold of the right big toe or the calf or maybe the back of the right thigh. Extend, pressing into the right heel. trying to draw that towards your face. Left hand anchoring down the left hip as you slowly extend the left leg long onto your mat. You can keep it bent if you'd like. Inhale, bend the right knee. Exhale, push into the right heel. Extend. Inhale, bending the right knee. Exhale, pushing into that right heel. Extend out long. And we'll just hold here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, release the foot down towards the mat. Go ahead and keep that right knee bent. We'll shift the hips over to the left about an inch or so, and then the right knee drops over to the left side. Maybe the gaze comes over towards the right hand for your supine twist. Inhale back to center. This time, shift the hips over to the left about an inch or two. Draw the left knee in. Allow it to fall over the right side. Supine twist on the left side. Just breathing and relaxing here. Finishing out our practice. On an inhale, come back to center. You can stay in your Shavasana, a resting pose, down on the mat. Legs come out long. The feet just fall to the sides. Hands opening up, palms facing the sky. And we'll take a restorative couple of minutes in our Shavasana pose. Absorb what you have just done in the class. It's important to take these couple of minutes for yourself. Allow the body to take time to absorb everything that we have just done. Kind of take a mental journal in how we feel now versus compared to how we started. The back of the legs, the calves, the thighs, the hips, down to your feet should be warm. Feeling them connecting with the mat and the earth. you're ready to come out, you can join me. If not, just allow the video to continue to play out. Otherwise, you can start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, give everything a nice squeeze. Maybe stretching the arms up overhead. And start to roll onto your side. From here, slowly push yourself up to a seated position. And there we have it. You have your nice stretch for today. And whether you do that before or after you go on a run, or maybe you just got home from work and you just need to get some movement in, this is a really valuable stretch that you can do for your body at any time. And even, like I said, some of those ankle stretches you could do while you're sitting on the couch and watching a show. So take that away with you today, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to leave a comment below, that would be amazing. Otherwise, take care and have a very wonderful day. Bye.